I'm Mike Uyak. I love to try new things, and I've had culinary adventures all around the world as well as right at home. I've had really wonderful food, as well as some really horrible food. I'd like to share some of my adventures with you, and we'll see if I have what it takes to fix whatever goes wrong. This is Recipe Redemption. Hello everyone, and welcome to Recipe Redemption, a video series where I explore the best and worst the culinary world has to offer. This is what you might call my DAMA. Didn't ask me anything. I don't have an AMA or an FAQ because no one's asked me CRAP, but in case someone does, perhaps I can answer them right now. First things first, why? Simple answer, curiosity. By cooking recipes that at first glance look truly horrific, I try to understand the mind of the person who created it, including the time period from which it hails and the state of the culture at that time. Perhaps the recipe is influenced by the ingredients that were available, or the ever-changing tastes of the American palate, or the fashions of the time. Perhaps it is the brainchild of someone trying to place a new spin on an old favorite, or someone experimenting with flavors or ingredients that have never been combined in one dish before. Perhaps they were simply stark raving mad. Who knows? The only way to find out for sure is to cook it and see just how bad, or very occasionally good, they may be. 2. How do I redeem a recipe? Answer: sometimes badly. I'm not a professional chef or even trained as a cook. I am mostly self-taught with a few pointers from my wife, who actually did go to cooking school. And although I might act like it from time to time, okay, all the time, I don't know everything. I'm a master of nothing. I don't have all the answers. So the dishes I create to redeem these horrible recipes might be just as bad, or occasionally even worse than the original. But they're mine. This series is about me experimenting with ideas in the kitchen and seeing where they lead me, not necessarily about me getting everything right. This is just what I think will fix the dish, but your way might be just as good or better. So I do take constructive criticism. Feel free to comment on my videos, tell me where I got it right and where I got it wrong. I think I can call a recipe redeemed if I can create something that uses most of the ingredients of the original in a more pleasing way, so that I capture the spirit of the original but with better flavor, texture, and presentation. I don't have the time, patience, or money to cook each dish multiple times to perfect the redemption recipe before presenting it to you. So in a way, I end on an intermediate step, a step in the right direction, and leave it up to you to decide if I reached a satisfactory stopping point in the process. Question 3. Are there recipes I will not cook? Yes. I've already made a few videos showcasing some of the recipes I won't bother to try for one of 3 reasons. The redemption would be too easy. Change 1 or 2 simple things and it'd be just fine. The recipe's just plain ugly. Probably tastes fine, but the way the dish was meant to be served makes it less than appetizing. Or 3, simply irredeemable. So hideously bad, the best thing that you can do for it is just simply to never make it, or anything even remotely resembling it. I won't cook endangered species, or dishes with anything super rare, partly because they're probably really expensive, and partly because I want to stick to things the average home cook might reasonably run across in their culinary explorations. That being said, my Market of Mystery series is geared toward the other side of that coin, encouraging you to go down those aisles of the supermarket you usually skip, or visit those neighborhood ethnic markets you usually drive past, and explore a little to add ingredients to your pantry that expand your horizons and broaden your palate to the world of flavors and aromas that exist beyond your own experience. 4. Do I take suggestions? Of course. I'm always on the lookout for new things to try, and if you can turn me on to something really interesting, I will make it my mission to learn everything I can about it and get it into my belly ASAP. The grosser, the better. If you've got a recipe you can't believe someone actually published somewhere, send it my way. If you have one that some relative insisted on bringing to family dinners that everyone hated, I want to try it. And maybe, just maybe, I can offer a few suggestions that might make it edible. And if I'm lucky, maybe even change it enough to get past your childhood traumas and back onto the holiday table. As a corollary, I guess question 4A. Hey, I like bananas with holiday sauce. Where do you get off? You're entitled to your opinions. And who am I to say that your favorite dish is disgusting? I'm just some guy making videos, and if I don't like something, it's just my opinion. By all means, continue to enjoy your bananas with hollandaise sauce, or your lutefisk pudding, or your peanut butter pickle and mayonnaise sandwiches. And feel free to voice your opinion in the comments on my videos. Or, if you know how to tweak the original recipe to make it more acceptable, please share that too. Perhaps the version I found is just too basic. And if you've improved upon it, I think we would all like to know about it. I guess as a second corollary, we'll call this question 4B. Hey, that's my country's national dish. How dare you? I'll issue a blanket apology right now. Obviously, my intention is not to offend anyone, and some of the dishes I try to redeem may have ethnic origins, but I'm not trying to make fun of the people who cook these dishes. Just highlighting the pros and cons of the dish from the standpoint of an American sensibility. Let's be honest, every country or ethnic group has some dishes that, from an outside perspective, are kind of weird. My ancestry is Chinese, and if you dig not all that deeply beyond the standard Americanized Chinese restaurant fare, you find some downright funky food. So by all means, hold that national delicacy high and proud and keep eating it. I promise to try it. I don't promise to come back for seconds. Deal? So question 5. Do I make any money off of this? At the current point in time, no. I don't have enough viewers to monetize my videos or have any reasonable expectation that I'd get any donations via crowdfunding or enough fans to make any money selling products with my logo on it. So I'm just an idiot in a tiny kitchen, no budget, second and third hand equipment, and a limited shooting schedule, posting videos on der interwebs for free because it keeps me off the streets and is better than developing a chemical dependency. At some point in time, if I find there are people who want to throw tons of filthy lucre at me in exchange for higher quality content, or alternately, if someone wants to throw cash at me to please God just stop for all our sakes, I may change formats to accept said shekels and simoleons, or, since this is a cooking show, lettuce and clams. But in other words, for the moment, you're welcome. Question 6. It's been 6 whole hours since you've posted your last video. What's taking so long? Simmer down, Becky. I'm not freaking BuzzFeed, and this stuff takes time. If I don't have any suggestions from viewers, then I have to do my own research to find worthy candidates to redeem. And even when I find one, I often want to do more research to find out the background behind it, as well as possible ways to redeem it. Then I've got to cook it and film that process, then film the redemption, and all my commentary and narration. Then I have to edit it all together, add music where necessary, then do it all over again when my bargain basement editing software decides to arbitrarily rearrange things or render the entire video in sepia tone, and then upload it. This process takes days, especially since I'm doing this all by myself, and never mind the time to actually buy the ingredients. And by the way, see question number 5. I don't make any money at this, so I've got a day job. And while evidence may suggest to the contrary, I've got a life as well. So if the planets and stars align just right, it might be only a week between episodes. Or if not, I might be gone a month and a half, like with the bagel tiramisu episode. I'm sorry I can't promise to be more consistent with videos, but you can definitely help. by looking for recipes for me to redeem, and maybe even do some of the research on the background for me, so I have less to do before I start filming. Help me help you. Are we on question 7? I think I'm on question 7. Is there anything you won't eat? Sure. Non-food items, or items obviously not fit for human consumption. The aforementioned endangered species. I tried whale sushi once because it was something I'd never tasted before, but it's whale. So I couldn't enjoy it, and I felt bad about it pretty much from that day forward. If it's something I already don't like and I've already eaten it on camera once, I won't bother eating it again just to prove a point. But beyond that, my general rule is to try everything twice. Once because I like new things, and twice because if I didn't like it the first time, it might either be because it's so new I didn't know what to expect and couldn't fully appreciate it, or because it might have actually been prepared badly. And it's not fair to judge something based on an over or undercooked, over or under seasoned, or just plain bungled rendition of a dish. Especially if it's just me dragging home something I've never cooked before and just saw pictures of it or seen in a YouTube video at some point. There's every possibility that despite all of my preparation and research, I'm going to screw up the dish and not cook it right. And that's just not fair to the ingredient or the dish. So I'm willing to give that multiple tries. Well, that's all I can think of for the moment. If you have any other questions I didn't answer, or ideas for recipes I should redeem, or foods you think I should try on camera, or just comments about the channel, by all means, write me a comment down below. And please, subscribe to the channel and tell your friends about it. The only way that this channel gets better is if I get feedback from more people, and that depends entirely on you. So thanks for visiting my channel, and keep an eye out for new recipes of Recipe Redemption, coming soon to a computer screen near you.